And for more on Trump versus the Pope, Candida Moss is a professor of the New Testament and early Christianity at the University of Notre Dame. Always good to see you, Candida.
Great to be here.
Let's go ahead and talk about this. Okay, the Pope pretty much just inserted himself into Republican politics. Are you surprised to see this?
I am surprised. Pope Francis has not spoken this sharply about any individual person before, but he was drawn into the debate by Donald Trump himself, who had commented on the politicalness of this Pope. So I'm surprised to see him speak so sharply, but I think at this point he's becoming quite frustrated.
And this is the same Pope who said, quote, "Who am I to judge?"
That's exactly right. His stance towards people in the past year has been, I don't judge, I welcome everyone. But now he's encountering a potential leader of the free world who's talking about excluding others, and that doesn't sit well with him.
I want to talk about a Trump staffer now. Dan Scavino pointed out that the walls around Vatican City have been there for centuries. However, they were built during a time when the Pope was more of a political leader in the entire world. What has changed?
Well, since then, the Pope has become much more a religious figure, less a real political player. And we have to bear in mind that these walls are hundreds of years old, and that Francis himself, by building showers for the homeless and inviting the homeless into Vatican City, has displayed just the kind of generosity and compassion that he wants to see people in the United States display towards immigrants in Mexico.
And Canada, speaking of Mexico, during his trip there, we have seen moments of frustration from the Pope, rare moments, I should add. In certain instances, as he's traveled, he's spoken about how leadership is failing around the world, of course, and we see in Europe a flood of desperate refugees who are trying to escape ISIS, and we talk about the mass starvation, including the pictures that are coming out there of these beautiful children there who are struggling and starving. Has this all built to a point where the Pope is ready to speak out more vehemently?
I think he is ready to speak out more vehemently, although he has spoken sharply about the dangers of unfettered capitalism in the past. He's trying to shine a spotlight on what real poverty looks like, what it's like for people in Mexico, what it's like for refugees in Syria. And so I see him as a frustrated man, but he's not going to give up.
All right, let's switch politics and switch gears now. The world is sort of grappling now with the threat of Zika virus. A lot of us here in the U.S. are very concerned. People are concerned around the entire world. The Pope was asked about whether it was okay to use contraceptives to prevent pregnancies in these scenarios, and he said that it was, I quote, on right here, was the lesser of two evils. What did he mean by that, and how significant is that kind of statement there?
Well, for Roman Catholics, abortion is strictly prohibited, as is birth control. You're supposed to be open to life. And what we've noticed is that Zika has affected a number of Catholic countries where abortion is already illegal. But there have been instances in the past where birth control has been different. There have been situations, for example, nuns who have been raped, where the Vatican has said it's okay for them to use birth control in those situations. So Francis is being pragmatic. He's saying that while abortion is an absolute evil, that contraception is something that in certain situations can be permitted.
And a final question, should we expect to hear more from the Pope during this race, this political race that we're looking at?
I don't think we can expect to hear him weighing in on American politics. In fact, he explicitly said he wouldn't advise people how to vote. But I think we'll see him used, especially in this race by the GOP candidates, as an example of perhaps what they don't want to see in America.
It is already in play. Canada, thank you. Always good to see you.
Thank you.